today's focus is just going to be on the ETFs, because there's a lot to share. And speaking of that, we now have 920 people on the stream. Keep it coming. Smash the likes. We should have 1,000 here shortly. But let's dive into the news, because we do have a lot to cover. Everyone wants to know what's going on. Why is the market dumping? Let's break this baby down. Here's the latest Bitcoin TA. I'll read some of the headlines first, because we have bonus stories to share, because there's a lot going on. Bitcoin plunges 3,000 in just 2 hours on 15th anniversary of Genesis Day. And then another headline, Bitcoin ETF denial report did not cause the 8% Bitcoin price crash, according to this analysis. Then Clemente points out over $1 billion of Bitcoin futures open interest wiped out in one candle thanks to Matrixport. Look at that candle. And someone tweeted here at 6 a.m. Eastern, Bitcoin dropped from a high of 45.5. And we had a pump watch. We were watching it. Our target was 47. Then all of a sudden, we went to a low of 40,600. Did the ETF get denied? What caused this seemingly random move down? Answer, it has nothing more than coins moving from the weak leveraged traders to the stronger hands. So don't unload those biddies, fam. Now, Jared Tate put, how much did BlackRock pay to have this Bitcoin FUD ETF report released this morning? Like I said, blatant market manipulation by the big guys, and that was off the back of the Cointelegraph article. BlackRock anticipated to acquire 10 million worth of Bitcoin January 3rd, which is today. So interesting. Is this all a big coincidence? What are your thoughts? Now, did you know, it actually gets interesting when we get into the conspiracy theories. Jian Wu, founder of ASIC manufacturer Bitmain and infamous proponent of big blocks during Bitcoin's block size wars, is also the co-founder of Matrixport, the firm that put out today's SEC Rejection FUD. So things are heating up and getting very interesting, which is going to lead us to this story. Matrixport founder says dissemination of Bitcoin ETF report was beyond our control. Yeah, I mean, and also, was this likely a rejection or smooth sailing as the experts weigh in on the potential spot Bitcoin ETF? That's just a glimpse of some of the stuff we're going to touch upon. Also, BlackRock seeding their ETF today with $10 million. Bitcoinaires, congratulations to all my Bitcoinaires as Bitcoin millionaire wallets jump over 300%. Yeah, I mean, Saylor begins selling $216 million worth of MicroStrategy stocks for a personal Bitcoin stash. He's going to keep buying. Macro guru Lynn Alden says 100 Gs would be a disappointment for this cycle. She shares her bullish target. We'll also be discussing the latest from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow the stock to flow model, predicting we hit 100,000 here in 2024 as Bitcoin starts the year off with fresh rallies. But let's start with our TA here, family. Lots to cover. Welcome everyone just joining us. The show is already lit. Over 1,000 people on the live stream. Appreciate that, family. So here we go. The original Bitcoin or crypto Bitcoin experienced sudden massive sharp outflows on the 15th anniversary of its Genesis Day. Happy Genesis Day, fam. Erasing most of its gains over the past 30 days. Bitcoin tumbled below 42 Gs this morning, January 3rd, losing at least 3,000 of value in just 2 hours, according to data from CoinGecko. On CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin dropped as low as 40,700, but we're recovering. We're already back at roughly 43, so it's all good. These dips are going to be very short-lived, in my opinion. What do you think? Bitcoin is currently trading closer to 43, down nearly 6% of the past 24 hours. The crypto is also down 1.5% over the past 14 days, but we're still in the green for the past 30 days, as I pointed out. The sharp drop, which you can see here in this chart, this is a 24-hour price chart, in the price action came as digital financial services platform Matrixport retracted its recent forecast that the US SEC would potentially approve the first Bitcoin ETF in January of 2024. In fact, that was one of our stories in yesterday's pod. They were predicting we hit 50,000 in January due to the ETF approval. And now they just retracted that entire sentiment. Can you say FUD, family? Now, Matrixport took to Twitter on the 1st to express confidence the Bitcoin would surge to 50 Gs, which we covered, driven by factors like imminent Bitcoin spot ETF approval. You know what imminent means, right? Immediately, incoming. The firm also stated that a potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval could be announced even ahead of the most traders' expectations for approval on the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th. I mean, it don't lie. Right here, January 1st on X. Anticipate a substantial Bitcoin surge to 50,000 in January, driven by an imminent Bitcoin spot ETF approval, institutional buying, and factors such as supply shortage and historical trends with potential for altcoin season and a funding rate reaching over 66%. Extremely bullish, right? So just a day after issuing a forecast on possible approvals in 2024, Matrixport has made a U-turn on its prediction, updating its forecast on January 2nd to claim the SEC will now reject all the spot Bitcoin ETFs in January, and that the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals won't come before Q2 of this year. This is potentially why we dumped today $3,000 just like that in 2 hours. You can thank Matrixport. Now, Bitcoin investor Alistair Malay noticed that Matrixport was founded by Jihan Wu, the Chinese billionaire crypto entrepreneur and co-founder of the crypto mining firm Bitmain. Industry analyst James Van Straten noted that Wu is a prominent supporter of Bitcoin Cash. Oh no. A hard fork of Bitcoin created in 2017. That may explain everything, family. Quoting him here. If anyone believes anything that Matrixport publishes, I have a bridge to sell you. Well, there you go. That's not a good look. Some major spot Bitcoin ETF observers have also reacted to the news. We have heard nothing to indicate anything but approval, but I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, so I am asking if he has any sources or just speculating, said Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas. To be clear, though, not saying rejection outright impossible, he later wrote, but we have heard nothing to indicate that. So the only source that we're hearing that no ETF is being approved this quarter is coming from none other than Matrixport, which seems extremely sus. What are your thoughts on that? And we're going to continue. I'm going to share some more regarding what's going on here. Let's see if we get some more insights. An ETF would certainly enable crypto overall to take off. And based on Gensler's comments in December of 2023, he still sees this industry in need for more stringent compliance. It stated, from a political perspective, there is no reason to approve a Bitcoin spot ETF that would legitimize Bitcoin as an alternative store of value. I mean, the ball is clearly in Gensler's court right now, no pun intended, but let me know if you feel Gensler's going to do the right thing and give us the green light. Here's what some of the traders have to share. The Wolf of Wall Street, Scott Melker, this is the reason for the dump. I put reason in quotes because this is really just a leverage flush. Regardless, this is an opinion with zero new information that flies in the face of everything shared by experts. And this is the FUD submitted by Matrixport. I don't want to even give them any more time or day there, but very interesting. I know people are desperate for a narrative, but Bitcoin didn't sell off because of some silly report about an ETF denial, says Joe Carlasar. He says it sold off because nothing goes straight up and it's an easy grab for liquidity to do a long squeeze. In short, the market was overbought. What are your thoughts on that? Now, if there is any denial by the SEC, we would see cascading liquidations as we expect most of the $5.1 billion in additional perpetual long Bitcoin futures to be unwound. We can see Bitcoin prices declining by 20% very quickly and falling back to the $36,000 to $38,000 range. That's if the FUD was actually real. Now, we're all highly sus and skeptical, but I'd love to know your thoughts, family. And as I mentioned earlier, over $1 billion Bitcoin futures open interest were wiped out as a result. Let me know your thoughts with all of this. I'm going to check the comments again.